Okay, let's talk about you as a brand, because your brand is just as important as the content that you create. A recognizable brand is essential for your success because it ultimately sets the stage for how your audience will connect with you. I've put together a brand audit worksheet, and that basically goes through everything to do with your brand and helps you really define who you are and what you want to be. So the question I like to ask is, what's in a great name? Now, that's a tough question because you can name your brand anything you want, but what's really important is that your name is relatable to your audience, it's easily recognizable, you can expand, so if you want to branch out your content, you want to ensure that your name can grow with your content. And when you're thinking about your name, you also want to consider being attractive to other brands that you can work with in the future. So I've put together this brand audit worksheet, and it helps you kind of go through and answer these types of questions that help you build your brand. When your audience sees one of your videos in their feed, do they automatically recognize that it's you? What colors do you want to use for your brand? For example, with the Bee family, what we do is we focus on blues and whites and soft grays. We want to keep our branding warm and inviting. My brand audit worksheet also helps you come up with your name to see if it's expandable. Does it pigeonhole you into one type of content? Or are you able to grow your content and build on? So do you want to do gaming in the future? Do you want to do vlogs? Do you want to do challenges? Will that name constrict you, or will it allow you to grow? And what's very important is your audience. As a creator, you need to know your audience. You need to know what your audience expects from you. So when you're coming up with your name and your branding, think about your audience. Think about your audience sitting in their chair, watching your content, and does that match with what they expect? What's important to your audience? What problems do they have? Are you trying to solve a problem? If you feel that your audience is mainly a kids audience, what type of colors are you going to use? What type of names are you going to use? Is it easy to remember? Is it easy to spell out? Is it easy to share? Who are your competitors? What types of names and colors do they use? Are they similar to you? Or if they're different, how are they different? What makes your offering and your content unique to your audience? It's fine to be inspired by your competitors, but you want to make sure that you create something that's unique. We've created a lot of content that was similar to other channels, but we've always made sure to add our twist to it, because we don't want an audience to look at our stuff and say, I've seen this already, I know what this is, I don't have to watch them. So there's a lot to think about when you're coming up with your brand, and this brand audit worksheet will really help you go through all those questions. And I'm always in the Discord to help you answer any questions that you get stuck on. So once you've gone through the brand audit worksheet and you've answered all those questions, I've also created another tool called the Bees Branding Best Practices Checklist. This checklist helps you check off all the main parts of building a recognizable brand. There are so many great YouTubers out there that you can take inspiration from, and they all have their own unique branding. When you think about Mr. Beast, he has his own colors, his own branding, his own consistency when it comes to creating thumbnails. Even his content is very consistent. Another great channel to look at is Dude Perfect. Their branding is amazing and their content is always very consistent. So spend some time looking around at the different YouTube channels or your favorite accounts and see, do they have a certain type of consistent thumbnail? Do they have a consistent intro, middle, and end to their videos? What about their color schemes? What about their names? What if they were to expand outside of what they're doing now? Would their name still work? Thinking about our family, when you look at the name The Bee Family, we could do gaming, we could do challenges, we could do cooking, because we didn't want to pigeonhole ourselves into one type of content. Now, originally, if we had started as Bee Family Gaming, that would have been very difficult for us to get into cooking or day in the life videos. So I ask you to take your time when you're coming up with your name, brainstorm, ask your friends and family, when they see your name, what do they imagine your channel does? So please check out the brand audit worksheet and the best practices checklist. And if you have any questions, send me a message on the Discord, or you can email me anytime, and I will see you in the next module.